Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
He disappeared over 65 million years ago. Now he's back. From the Bedrock Studios at WJOB in Hammond, it's T-Rex Live.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Huh? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Are you trying to give me the double talk?
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Why don't you answer him?
He's talking pig Latin. I don't know what he's saying.
He's asking you if you swear.
No, but I know all the words.
How about face?
I won't do it. He don't pay my salary. It's a guy with a beard. I'll get up.
Dallas, Texas. A Dallas woman who beat her 2-year-old daughter. Okay? Beat her 2-year-old daughter. And then glued her hands to a wall, was sentenced Friday to 99 years in prison, mind you, by a judge who described his decision as a necessary punishment for such a brutal, shocking attack. Elizabeth Scalana did not immediately react as State District Judge Larry Mitchell pronounced the sentence at the end of a 5-day hearing. The prosecutor, who originally offered Escalina a plea deal of only 45 years, had argued that she now thought that the 23-year-old mother deserved life. Mitchell said his decision came down to one thing. On September 7, 2011, you savagely beat your child to the edge of death. For this, you must be punished. The beating left the daughter of the person Elizabeth in a coma for days. Escalana's other children told authorities their mother attacked the little girl due to potty training problems. Police say she kicked her daughter in the stomach, beat her with a milk jug, then stuck her hands to an apartment wall with an adhesive commonly known as superglue. All right, let's go to the phone lines. They're a buzzing. 219-845-1100. Hello, caller. You're on WJOB.
Hey, Rexy.
Hey, Ronnie.
What's up, my friend? Hey, tell your mom quit calling, gosh darn, and don't vote for Obama.
Well, that isn't my mother. I think it might have been yours.
I know. All right, my friend, I'm Smith General.
10-4.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, Ronnie the Wrench checking in. He's listening from somewhere in his car. My guess would be the trunk. But anyway, so here we go. Jocelyn suffered bleeding in her brain, a fractured rib, multiple bruises, and bite marks, a doctor testified. Some skin had been torn off her hands even, when doctors also found glue residue and white paint chips from the apartment wall. Escalina pleaded guilty in July to one count of felony injury to a child. Price said that Escalina would be eligible to apply for parole in 30 years. Mitchell could have sentenced Escalina to anywhere from probation to life in prison. A sentence as long as 99 years is rare for a felony injury to a child in child cases in Texas, but not unheard of. According to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, about 2,100 inmates are serving prison sentences for felony injury offenses involving a child, elderly, or disabled victim. Just fewer than 5% of those inmates are serving sentences of 99 years or more, or including life. Now, I put this story up on my T-Rex Live official fan page here. And if you guys want to check that out, you can go to Facebook and you can find me and find the page. And a lot of interesting comments have been put up about this story. Chuck in particular says the following: our legal system is quite confusing. There are murderers who literally get decades less than this woman. She needs treatment, not to die in prison. Another listener wrote, is it me or does it seem like a lot of crazy stuff happens in Texas? This is so sad. I have a 2- and 3-year-old myself. So the question boils down to simply this, gang. Does indeed the punishment fit the crime? Now, for those of you, I know majority who are listening, obviously you guys have children. A lot of you do. Some of you are even grandparents, and you got children's in your home or around. So you guys understand the challenge in regards to potty training, the difficulty there, the aggravation, the frustration, and all that stuff. Okay? It's enough to drive anyone crazy. It's enough to drive anyone angry. But the question here is, did this mom take it too far? I have to say from T-Rex's point of view that she did. I mean, it's one thing to scold a child, to put her in timeout, or to spank her, the cold corporal punishment argument. That to me is one thing. But when you beat your child to the point where you put her into a coma for several days, you cause a fractured rib, bleeding on the brain, ripping flesh from her hands because you glued them to a wall, beating her with a milk jug, to me, that's going above and beyond punishment. You were letting out anger on this young child. And for what? Because they wouldn't go on the potty? Really? I'd hate to see what happens for a guest who forgets to take off their shoes when they come into your house. As if, I guess the theme of the show today was parents who go too far. So here we go again. If your preteen wanted a tattoo, would you let her get one? A North Carolina mom who moonlights as a tattoo artist figured it would be fine, but now she's in trouble with police for giving her 11-year-old a dragon tattoo. If you hear a feminine voice in the background, that is my producer in training, Destiny. She's in the background. She asked me to do it. 30-year-old Odessa Clay, who sports plenty of her own body art. The tattoo is a small heart near the girl's right shoulder. Clay told the TV station that she thought minors could get tattoos as long as their parents approved it beforehand. Given that she's the girl's mother, she didn't think it would be a huge problem. Clay, who also hangs drywall, by the way, and sells Mary Kay products, according to her public Facebook page, said that she used her own tattoo instruments, numbed her daughter's arm before permanently drawing on the outline of a heart. I didn't fill it in, she said, adding that the girl was not in any pain. Given that she inked her daughter last year but wasn't arrested until late September, Clay says that she thinks a former in-law told police about her daughter's body art in retaliation for the police report that Clay filed against her daughter's parental godfather. Clay is due in court next month to face a single count of tattooing a person under the age of 18 and has not been charged with child abuse. At least her daughter's tattoo is tiny. In June, a 13-year-old boy in Washington State went on a trip with a family friend and returned with a 6-inch tattoo of a dragon on his chest. The parents were not happy about it, police told the Associated Press. The parents would not have allowed it or condoned it. Almost every state requires parental permission in order to tattoo a minor. In North Carolina and 13 other states, kids under the age of 18 can't get tattoos even if their parents do approve. The reasoning is that kids, no matter how savvy they may seem, aren't mature enough to make life-altering decisions on their own. Earlier this year, a girl was arrested in Georgia and charged with child cruelty, being party to a crime after she allowed her 10-year-old son to get a tattoo in honor of his late brother. I always thought if a parent gives consent, then it's okay, she says. How can somebody else say it's okay? How can someone else say it's not okay? He's my child, and I have a right to say what I want for my child. What do you think? What is acceptable to have your child? Why is it acceptable to have your child's ears pierced, even multiple times, but it's not illegal for them to get a tattoo? That is an interesting question.